In an announcement on Thursday by the Independent National Electoral Commission via its official X handle, the petition seeking the recall of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan representing the Kogi Central Senatorial District has failed to meet the constitutional requirements outlined in Section 69A of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1999. The statement was signed by the National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekun. In a detailed breakdown, INEC revealed that the petitioners failed to gather the requisite number of signatures and thumbprints which must represent more than 1/2 of the registered voters in the Kogi Central Senatorial District. Ibrahim Garba and Olayinka is still here with me. Olayinka Daniels, very quickly, the conceived idea to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, was it taken too far?
Yeah, well, to some of us, you know, we can test the water by putting our leg into it to know how deep it is. But we know that there was no precedent whatsoever that since 1999, I mean, by 1999 Constitution, we've not seen any senator being recalled successfully anyway. And why? Because of the complicity of the provision of that law.
All right.
I mean, the stages are there. So how do you want to scale stage 1, stage 2, and get into stage 3? That is from the petition to the verification to referendum. How do you want to get there? We are talking about voters, registered voters. How do you meet up the half and one of the registered voters? Some would have died. And how can you look at the instances? If a number of them, they're like 2 or 3, or thereabout, that they couldn't. So there's no how it to be successful. Okay. We saw that it went too far. There was no need for that. There was a personal issue between 2 individuals. Now they knew it and they brought it up and they made it an institutional issue. And some people, I don't know, but like I said in one of the programs, that I see it as a political motivated, action.
Right.
To say, okay, we'll deal with you, we'll recall you, and I think we should go beyond this, and go beyond all this sentiment when we have issues to address. And I don't see that flying from the beginning. And here we can see what has happened so far.
All right, Ibrahim Garba, quickly. Now, from the videos online, her return was met with wild jubilations and celebrations. Is it possible that these same people would have been aggrieved in summoning her recall?
Very tough one. In the first place, Mark, our democracy has come under, observation.
Right.
Because when Natasha Akpoti, raised these allegations against the person of the Senate President, the first thing that comes to my mind is not the parties involved, but, the entire constitution, which has been brought down. Because Nigerians expect more from these giants. Every member of the Senate there represent a constituency, and by right they are equal before the law. But again, for the fact that someone has been appointed to that position as the Senate President, it behooves on her at least give her that respect first by treating this thing as an internal affair. Okay. Right. Secondly, when these allegations are made, we saw a lot of comments on media. She appeared on so many media platforms, even as far as the IPU, which I feel, for me, is not necessary.
True.
But again, in seeking for your right, you start from home. You start from the source. And when that fails, you can take the next step. This, I believe, these are cases, for me, I believe can be resolved between Akpabio and her husband, even before it escalates. Because allegations of sexual allegations are always very, very difficult to prove in the court of law.
Right.
Because you need to establish the ground for that. And don't forget, she has been fighting this battle alone, or rather, she has been getting more sympathy on a daily basis. But the fact that the Senate President has been very, very quiet, you should not underestimate, his silence to mean that he has given in. At the end of the day, we might see some new twists to these stories flying around.
All right.
And like I say, you mentioned one video when she was giving a rousing welcome in her hometown. Okay, definitely they will grant her that right. They will support her. They will come out, to demonstrate their support for her because she's representing them, no other person now. And for you to say, let us resort to option B of recalling her, I think at this point is very, very difficult.
All right.
What we should advise at this point is, let us allow the due process of the law to take its course, because this case has been filed before the court, and the court had issued a statement that there should be stay of execution, and they should avoid anything that has to do with media trial and all that, and follow the due process of the law, so that at the end of the day, justice can be pronounced.
All right, thank you very much. Now, Olayinka Daniels, quickly, this is off the cards now. You made an assertion when you started your analysis that the recall process is very stringent and very difficult. Is this a deliberate attempt to keep incompetent people in power? Because if recall processes are very difficult and stringent, and a senator representing a constituency or a House of Rep member is not doing right, why should the process to recall such a senator or that individual be difficult if we actually want change in our democracy? Because obviously, it's a very difficult process to go through, meaning that regardless of what happens, incompetence will continue to thrive.
Don't forget that some of us had asked for a total overhauling of the 1999 Constitution.
All right.
Because what we've been picking here and there, we've been amending here and there, but we really need the entire overhauling of that Constitution. Now, the drafter, or the people that drafted, the intention of the people that drafted that particular section of the Constitution is glaring. It's clear to all of us that they want it to, they want that to be so difficult, and they don't want a recall in any way. If not, it won't be that be stringent. And also, the Constitution needs general overhauling. We have to start from there before we can go further to pick, because if you can see, we've been amending here and there. There are lapses, there are lacuna, there are vacuums in the Constitution. The Constitution was drafted by some people, which we know that by now, 1999, I will know what has happened between 1999 and 2025. The society, the people, how things are being done. I think we should look into this and revisit and have, sit down and have a referendum to really look into the Constitution and maybe have a total new Constitution entirely that will govern us and will have a better Nigeria. But if we are still using this same Constitution, we're still going to continue to have things like this over time.
Thank you very much. Now, Ibrahim Garba, before I let you go quickly, the court has barred Natasha and the Senate President from, attending to any press briefing or media rounds now. In 30 seconds, rather in less than 30 seconds, what would be your advice moving forward? Because obviously, we need to start focusing on real issues and move away from these distractions.
No, she is right to seek for justice, and the court has made this pronouncement, like I mentioned earlier. Right. What we want to see happen is, for her to be given fair hearing. This case has gone viral, and at the same time, it has attracted international attention. But again, we should be very, very careful in managing our institution. We cannot allow cases like this to come up and ridicule what we spend so much to build. And advise, lawmakers to please tread carefully so that we don't destroy what we, suffer so much to build. All right.
Well, thank you very much, Ibrahim Garba, for your time on the show. We appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. And of course, Olayinka Daniels, thank you so much as well for actually coming on the show. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
It's a privilege. Thank you. Most grateful.
Right. And that's our show for today. Remember, you can follow the conversation on our social media platforms at TVC News NG or on our website at tvcnews.tv. I am Marco Tabo. Until next week, goodbye.